All right, I guess we'll start things off with I want a stealth roll from Squish and Skrag. I know Skrag gets advantage.
Stealth will fucking help. He gets advantage?
Advantage, yep, because you can camouflage.
All right. New kind of character. Here we go. It didn't even give me the advantage option.
Oh.
Yeah, new character cheats. It defaults back to advantage every time.
Ah, shit. Why is it doesn't have
Time to troubleshoot. Oh, I see the scale mail there. So you just uncheck it to turn it off. There we go.
See, what's happening here is that it's changing my armor class. So what I'm going to do is because it's supposed to be 16 flat. Okay. So should I try rolling again then?
Yeah, let's do that again.
All right.
Take two.
Take two. And I guess it's just going to automatically nudge.
There we go.
Do you remember how to turn that off, Jack? Yeah. I can tell you if you don't.
I got it. Thank you.
All right. So we'll start our space adventure in the middle of an ambush as the Astral Reaver, captained by the GIF Boswell Barrett, is passing through an asteroid field. You have found yourself set upon by Neogi slavers, piloting one. You are ambushed by a Neogi night spider, which is what the ship is called. And as the commander of the ship, Claudius Armstrong, another GIF, is rallying the crew to arms battle stations, trading ballista fire with the ship. As the ship draws closer, someone shouts, "Umber Hulk!" as the large insectoid creature crashes down onto the deck of the ship. And from there, it falls almost into chaos. As the ship is boarded, the Neogi use their mind control, their charms, to stun most of the crew and put the crew into the cargo hold as the legs of the ship enwrap the hammer ship in kind of a very large net, sort of clutching onto it. As the ship is overwhelmed, Skrag and Squish, the two of you manage to slip away despite all odds. Skrag, you are camouflaged against the woodwork of the ship, slowly moving about as your chitin kind of shifts colors slowly and blends in the background. And Squish, you have managed to fit yourself into a small box in the kitchen, overlooked as the Neogi are basically in the process of stripping the ship of any and all valuables and transferring some of the crew onto their ship. And I think we discussed before, Squish, you wanted to try to hop into the Spelljammer helm.
Yeah. How many Neogi are left on the ship now that we're being hauled off?
Right now there is I'd say like a small, kind of a skeleton crew, probably numbering around 10 scattered around the ship. They are, as you're making your way around, they don't seem to be anywhere near the helm. They are busy kind of making sure that they've searched every nook and cranny for any other passengers or stowaways. You can hear them kind of tearing apart the crew's and captain's quarters as they make sure that everyone is accounted for.
But we're already being towed away, or are they not yet in transit?
Not yet in transit, but you get the feeling that time is running out.
We're currently on the boarded ship. Not
Yes, you're on the boarded ship.
The pirate ship, which is called
The Astral Reaver.
All right, so I'm going to presume Squish would have gone to Skrag first, because Squish doesn't really worry about camouflage when it comes to finding people. Knows you're there. And it's like, hey, Skrag, what should I do?
Find a way off of this thing.
But all your things are here. I do not want. I have an idea.
Do tell. And he's carefully moving around, trying to avoid any conflict at this point.
Okay.
But he quickly is running out of options since they're basically taking everything, including his things, I'm certain.
Yeah, basically anything that they think they can sell, because the Neogi are basically a merchant species. They sell people, and they sell all manner of goods across wild space.
So all of his trinkets, well, most of his trinkets might be of interest.
Yeah, more or less.
So he's keeping telepathic communication with Squish, but I don't think Squish could talk. Yeah, Squish wouldn't be able to talk back. I think, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's a one-way communication.
Right, but I don't know what Squish might have.
Nope.
So yeah, he won't know what Squish is doing.
All right, so Squish, what are you doing?
Squish is going to go through its various little hidey holes and tiny little inch-wide passageways and make its way to the helm room.
All right. Yeah, the helm is located kind of towards the back end of the ship. You know that Athos's chambers are adjacent to it. You don't hear any rustling or things being knocked over in there, so you think the Neogi probably cleared that out first.
Took Athoz. I don't know why we're... Well, time to save the day. And Squish is going to pour itself into the chair.
All right.
The big chair.
Yeah, so fortunately for you, the captain went through the trouble of having the chair sovereign glued onto the ship. So the Neogi have not been able to dislodge it, despite all of their efforts. And so they've just they've left it on the ship. They've decided, we'll figure it out when we get back to port. And so yeah, you pour yourself into the chair, coating it in your semi-translucent or translucent self?
Yeah, semi-translucent.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, rainbow sherbet. That's important.
All right. And as you kind of surround the chair in yourself, it is going to take about 30 minutes to an hour to attune to the Spelljammer helm, but you are able to do it. And it's like being submerged in kind of lukewarm water, or warm water, a pleasant feeling, a tingly sensation across your slimy membrane. And you feel and hear everything on board the ship. You can feel the netting wrapped around the ship. You can feel the spindly legs of the night spider ship not squeezing, but kind of gently cradling the hammer's ship. And you can even feel the asteroids around the ship as well.
Asteroids, you
Yes, you are in an asteroid belt.
Haha, stupid. You have bones, organs. And Squish is going to try to reorient the hammerhead and in a burst of speed catch them by surprise and try to ram the night spider into one of those nearby asteroids to free the ship.
All right. Yeah, so you are able to do that. The spindly legs of the night spider are very fragile, and it's basically you are more or less carrying the ship with you as you propel the ship forward and twist. And let's do a dexterity roll really quick.
For
a what?
Oh, not a save, just
Oh, well then thank goodness.
for both of us, or
Actually,
Not a whole hell of a lot better. Jesus.
let's do an acrobatics for Squish, and then Skrag, you'll need to do a dexterity save to keep your balance.
Let's see. Okay.
I'm going to try that one more time then. Oh, there we go.
All right.
That'll do it.
All right, so what happens is Squish piloting the ship, you're able to drag the Night Spider ship along and then make enough of a turn. It's not a complete sharp turn, but you manage to turn the ship, and as you can hear the Neogi kind of scuttling around as they're trying to figure out like what is going on, who's using the chair, and then there's a loud booming slam, almost like an earthquake, as you slam the Night Spider against an asteroid. The spindly legs of the ship break off into pieces as you have now freed the ship. But there are still Neogi on board.
Where are the majority of now? Are they above deck or below?
They are below deck, and you can feel them kind of making their way to the helm.
Squish is going to orient itself in the chair in such a way that it's very hard to...
All right, go ahead and make a stealth roll for me.
Da-da-da-da! Oh!
Oh,
Da-da.
nice. All right. Yeah, let's see. Let me make them do a perception, and they have a +3 modifier. Yeah, they cannot find you. Where are you steering the ship?
I presume the Night Spider is no longer able to pursue. Did I free the hammer, or are we still tethered?
Yeah, you freed the hammer ship, and you disabled basically the net. You can feel the Night Spider in pursuit. You know that the ship cannot land on a planet. It can't land, or you know that the Night Spider cannot land in water or on land on a planetary body.
Can it even enter an atmosphere?
It can enter an atmosphere, but it cannot land.
Well, that is all super interesting stuff for me, but unfortunately, Squish almost certainly does not know any of that.
Oh, yes. So I will say...
I don't think anyone ever dreamt of letting Squish drive, and may not have even known that was something Squish could do.
Gave him the steering wheel.
Yeah, so I imagine you're weaving through this asteroid belt. Squish, you can feel 3 planetary bodies ahead of you as you kind of slip out of the asteroid belt. 2 of them are further away, but there is one really big one that is much closer to you.
What color is it?
It is green and blue. In fact, it's a lot of blue.
I like that one. I like that. I'm going with that one.
All right.
How many Neogi are still aboard, and are any of them in the helm room?
I'm going to say it's the same 10 on board. They are in the helm room and searching high and low for you. They don't know.
Really intent on that search, huh?
Yeah, and you can feel about half of them are, I'd say 7 of them are scurrying off to see if there's like a hidden room on the ship, to see if maybe there's another Spelljammer helm on board. And the other 3 are standing guard around the Spelljammer helm that you're in or on, just to make sure like nobody sneaks in.
How much control does the helm grant over the ship?
You basically have complete control. You are in the pilot's chair.
Is gravity a thing I can turn off?
It is not a thing you can turn off.
And whichever way is the bottom of the ship is still just the bottom of the ship. It's not like there's any gravity for us to take advantage of other than what the ship is.
There is a gravity plane that kind of cuts through the ship below the bottom deck. So, like, if somebody goes overboard, if they know how to kind of fall correctly, they could theoretically fall onto the bottom half of the ship and still be like on the ship itself. But I don't think that's something Squish would be aware of.
Okay. Squish is going to push this ship towards that planet a lot faster than it's probably meant to go.
Okay. All right. And then I believe you technically have a spell slot. Though I know we kind of tweaked the Astral Drifter background a bit so that you get all cantrips instead of like a first level spell. So I'm going to say like you, quote, burn, end quote, that spell slot to move the ship faster. And you get, I don't even know how to describe how a slime would feel winded, but you feel like you are exerting a lot of energy as you are basically pushing the ship straight down into that planet's atmosphere. And you see that this planet has a lot of blue and also some green. And then there's kind of a spattering of green out in the middle of the blue, kind of like paint drops on a painting.
Oh, that's very...
And the Night Spider is still in pursuit?
I'm going to say you've lost the Night Spider by now. You kind of get a sense of it kind of far behind you.
Okay, that's good. Squish doesn't really appreciate tactical retreats, but this is probably what Skrag wanted to do, right?
Meanwhile, he's on his back, trying to get up after falling on his ass.
Yes,
Yeah,
brace for
that's-
acceleration, everyone.
Yep, he's bracing, and he's trying to crawl his way towards the helm, assuming that, somebody is there, either a friend or a foe, and needs to figure out where the fuck they're going.
Given the quality of the steerage at this point, I feel like Skrag probably has the int to figure out that Squish.
Probably the
driving
Squish, yeah.
Because this is not a good ride.
Yeah.
No.
This is Squish doesn't have its CDL.
As,
First it's like, okay, are they trying to shake whatever's on them? But no, there's no rhyme or reason to the way this thing is being driven. So he's heading up there or back there to
yeah, you can feel the heat of the acceleration as the ship is careening down into this planet. Skrag, you're able to kind of crawl your way inch by inch, open the door into the helm room, and you see the three Neogi just hanging on for dear life as they're trying not to lose balance. And you see
They're probably not. Don't Neogi have spider climb?
oh yeah, they do. Yeah. All right, yeah. So yeah, the Neogi
They're
are
hanging on, but they don't like it.
They're hanging on, but you can see that they are not having a good time as one of them screams at you in an alien language, and we'll pan the camera over down planet side. Does Ari go stargazing a lot or at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it nighttime or is it daytime?
It's nighttime.
Okay.
As you're situated kind of along the beach, not too far from your little hometown of Cobb, a small fishing village of kind of mostly humans. But there's a good mix of like halflings, a couple of dwarves. But you're stargazing on the beach, and you see a particularly bright meteor.
Yeah, probably the wrong color for a meteor.
Does it just look like a big ball of fire at this point?
Yeah, as you
Got it.
take a few moments to kind of just look at it as you notice it, it's starting to look bigger, and then it seems to kind of veer slightly as it disappears into a forest in the south, and you feel the earth shake as it feels like there's an explosion.
I'm on my way.
All right. So the site of the crash is a good maybe 5-10 miles away from town.
Yep.
So you just hoof it?
Yep.
All right.
I could imagine that when the Neogi was screaming at Skrag, he just chitters back at him and probably shoots him or something. He's going to be quote unquote yelling telepathically to Squish to slow him down, or they're going to burn up. When he sees that they're going to be hitting, last hurrah, he grabs onto the chair that Squish is in and just uses shield. See that kind of brace for impact.
Squish is going to abandon the helm. I presume I don't need to do any kind of special action for that. You leave.
Yeah, you can just leave.
Okay, Squish is going to contort its amorphous body around Skrag to protect him from the impact.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So the gravity of the planet does the rest of the work as you give maybe like one final turn so that the ship does not crash into the green entirely, and then from there it's a bit of a rough and tumble crash as you can hear the branches and not branches but entire trees snapping, rocks crashing against the hull of the ship, and if it weren't for the helm chair being sovereign glued to the ship itself, as you wrap around Skrag, the two of you probably would have been launched forward through the door into the helm room, just like the Neogi are right now. And there's a few moments where you're just kind of wrapped up into probably as tight as as tight of a ball as you can physically manage, or the both of you can manage, and you realize soon that you're done crashing. The ship has come to a stop.
Squish is immediately going to release Skrag and go after the nearest Neogi at full speed.
All right. At full speed, you launch yourself onto one of the Neogi. Seems like they did not fare the crash as well as the two of you did, as it doesn't even have much strength left to fight back. It, like, limply tries to push you away, coughing up blood, and you just envelop it.
Yep. Ugh. That wasn't too great, but I guess you only have 2 HP left anyway. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's a small size anyway, so Squish just eats the nearest.
Yeah.
That's going to give you indigestion.
As Skrag, you watch Squish envelop one of the Neogi pirates, and it just melts away. Flesh and muscle first, then bone, and it's like watching liquid evaporate inside of a pan.
I get tired of watching that.
Oh, Skrag, you would like these. They are very good.
Are you certain?
Yes.
Toes eats it.
They are like eels and spiders combined, so I'm thinking like a combination of unagi and crab.
He
Which
would eat
honestly
more of the
is-
spider part than the eel part, no doubt.
I am
Crunchy.
sorry that I crashed, Skrag. Do you think the captain...
Pretty certain the captain's dead.
No, that cannot... That would be my fault.
Nah, not your fault at all. He's going to take a look around to see if there's any kind of survivors, friend or foe.
Okay.
The shape of the ship, probably not, but he's going to look anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to find the cat, man.
Yeah. We'll start with Skrag. So Skrag, you can see that the ship was kind of almost like cut open as if a fishmonger was kind of like spilling out the guts of a fish. There is debris strewn about. There's a path through the forest where you can see the ship kind of crashed through, and then where it landed, it seems like all the spare rowboats, a lot of the cargo just kind of spilled out onto the beach itself. You see scattered Neogi bodies, minus the one that Squish consumed, you're counting about 5 or 6. Yeah, about 5 or 6. And you know that there was at least 10 of them on board when Squish took over control.
Okay. And he can't. There's nothing else to be found other than those bodies.
Yeah, nothing else to be found other than those bodies.
He's
All right.
going to head back to Squish.
Okay. Yes.
Squish, meanwhile, is using its advanced suite, sensory utilities, aka a real perception, in order to find survivors as well.
All right. So, just like when you were taking control of the ship, you find everybody in the cargo hold. Not all of the crew are there, but you find mostly everybody. There are boxes and crates smashed around. You sense that there is basically a kind of a gaping hole through the bottom decks and the cargo hold of the ship where a lot of stuff has just spilled out onto the beach. And you find a number of the crew either buried under crates and barrels in the cargo hold, or kind of some of them scattered very close to the outside of the ship, kind of thrown about onto the forest floor. But you do see the trail of debris that kind of leads down to the beach itself.
Okay, well, first step, Squish is going to muster its squishy strength with a key point and is going to make some really choice strength-based checks for digging out the buried members of...
All right, go ahead and do an athletics roll for me.
Okay. Okay, this plus 3, because I don't know how to modify these, so... Well, actually, hold on. Give me just...
Oh, yep.
All right,
With
sorry.
the way telepathy works, if he would reach out and see he could speak with anyone, be like he would sense that he could...
No,
connect with
your
you?
telepathy, they can hear you, but you wouldn't know who.
Okay.
And your telepathy is, I believe,
What,
psychic.
is it? I have the...
Oh, did you roll? I don't see a roll.
Oh, sorry, I was so busy.
Oh, no worries. All right, athletics plus 3. All right, with that 23, you...
Nope, no 3 necessary, just an even 20. I fixed it.
Okay. All right, awesome. So with that 20, you are able to kind of pull boxes and barrels aside. A lot of it just seems like rubble. A lot of stuff got smashed and damaged in the crash. As you pull aside like pieces of this exquisite dragon chest set that was made of ivory, just shattered to pieces. And you find the Lieutenant Percival Davies, one of the GIF, one of the old guard, as it were, of the crew, as he kind of reaches a large hand up. He's about 8.5 feet tall and kind of pushes his hand out, kind of feeling you for a second as he says, "Oh, Squish. Oh, I'm getting too old for these emergency landings." And
I flew the ship, but I did very badly.
Upon hearing that there's actually somebody alive, Skrag's going to head over and help him out.
all right, as
Still breathing. That's a surprise.
as the lieutenant nods and says, "Yeah," as he thumps his peg leg against the floor of the cargo hold.
Did the
He's-
peg leg get damaged?
Yes, because it is normally braced with this like metal block that kind of roughly looks like a foot. The metal block is missing. All right, as
Yeah, Squish just surrounds the leg and scoops up some pieces up off the floor and puts the leg back together in a swirl of fluid motion.
much obliged, my slimy chap. All right,
Do we see the captain in here, by the way?
Oh yes, you do see the captain.
And Athoz, is he in here too?
Athoz and the captain are in here. Yes.
Okay. Well,
It's gonna be some digging, but you're able to dig up the officers of the crew and Athoz.
Yeah, Squish is going to do this carjack style. Not that kind of carjacking, obviously. I already did that one. But basically, Squish is going to wedge down under all the wreckage, just squeeze all the way to where the crew is, and then push from under.
All right. So yeah, as you push the wreckage and debris out of the way, you see the familiar red of the captain and the commander's uniforms as they start kind of finally being able to sit upright and kind of slowly stand up. Captain Boswell is an older GIF, medals pinned to his red uniform, signaling him as an officer of the ship, and the commander, Claudius Armstrong, also a GIF, the captain's right-hand man. Not as many medals, but still that familiar red, as the captain kind of finally manages to stand up. He groans a little bit as he kind of moves a hand to his back, presses firmly as you hear his spine kind of snap into place as he gives a, ugh, good heavens. All right, who crashed my bloody ship?
It was me, Captain.
Oh, it was either crash the ship or lose it.
As Boswell gives a nod and says, all right, give me a moment. Athoz, are you alive, my good man?
Ow. I think so. Hang on. Give me a second.
All right.
You see like the large Leonin tail just wiggle itself as he begins to stand up.
Squish will help him do that.
Thank you, Squish. What happened?
I flew the ship, but very badly. I am
You did-
sorry, Cat.
You did what now?
Everyone else was all not blinking very much and sitting there and not moving or saying anything. And I said all kinds of things, and they didn't say anything. So it was Skrag and me. And Skrag could not get all the way to the helm because there were all those eel spiders. So I could, and I did. And I flew the ship, but not well. Very.
You did well enough.
Thank you, Skrag.
I'm glad that we extended your vocabulary to like that. But you did well, all things considered, given that we were mostly charmed, the rest of us. I swear.
Yeah, they were messing with your brains. That's why I don't have one. Well, I did for a little bit, but then I ate.
As Athoz, you stand up, you find out that you were lying on top of the gunnery sergeant, a Lysandra Taylor. Also a GIF, as you start to stand up, and then you feel this massive form kind of rise up, and you kind of slide down her legs as she kind of picks you up by the scruff of the collar so that you don't completely lose your balance again.
Whoa. Oh, sorry. You okay there? I know it can be a little bit heavy, give or take.
As she gives a nod and says, I'm all right. Been through worse. I'm sure the captain will tell you that story once we're all set up here.
So where are we? What?
It was a blue and green planet, and I tried to hit the blue because there was a lot more blue than green, but I missed.
Any ideas, anybody?
All right, as the captain kind of steps over to the massive hole in the cargo hold, kind of looking out onto the beach, as you see some of the other crew kind of starting to stir to action, groaning and kind of half-conscious as he says, all right, number one, as he points over to Claudius, do a head count. Lieutenant and Sergeant, check the cargo hold, see what supplies we have. Athoz, Skrag, and Squish, I want the three of you to scout out to the beach, see how much of the ship has been spread out. See how long we're going to be stuck on this planet. And Skrag, if you can, if your memory is good enough, see if you can refer to your mental chart, see what planetary body our good Squish has landed us on.
So.
Oh, Captain, I did break the other ship that was trying to take us. It could still fly, but I hit it real hard.
Good. If
Sorry, go ahead, Jack.
if you were a little more solid, Squish, I'd give you a damn medal. Good maneuvering.
I do like metal.
I mean, it could probably float, but he would eat it after a time.
You know, with that said, the captain's gonna take one of the medals off of his coat. It's you're not sure what medal it was. What deed the medal was for, and maybe he's not even sure he remembers either. Very long career, as he takes this small little medal, kind of wrapped in multicolored cloth with a little star on it, and he just kind of pushes it gently into Squish.
Actually, as he's taking off the metal, Squish, through pattern recognition, realizes what this is, and Squish will take a loose humanoid silhouette of a shape during the time to receive that metal.
All right.
And will even salute after it's been placed on its bioplasm, though it doesn't have any idea what that salute means, what it has observed.
All right. Yeah, as Boswell says, congratulations on the rank of private, Squish.
I am Private Squish.
Just don't absorb that, huh? If you
I am-
can help it.
I am trying not to, but I can taste it, and it's real good.
Maybe Skrag can hold it up. Maybe Skrag can hold it for you after you bask in it.
Then how will people know that? Oh, by the way, since we're aboard a ship, it should actually probably be a ship.
Oh yeah, Ensign Squish.
Yeah, Squish is a sailor now. If Skrag holds the medal, then people will think Skrag is Ensign Squish, and they will not know who I am.
I'm pretty sure the rest of the crew know that you're Answish.
Oh, okay. Here you go, Skrag. And Squish hands the medal to Skrag, and then resumes its shape as a cuddly beanbag chair with pride colors.
He would take said medal and put it on the little, like, leather pack thing he has on the side where Squish can hide into.
Yeah, Squish's little bottle home.
Yeah.
Since Squish basically has no belongings, out of character, obviously, I would like to just outfit Skrag with things of a gear nature that Squish would use, since Skrag is kind of Squish's, handler. Because telepathy is easier to Squish than words. It's a little clearer to
So he will take his cartographer tool. He has a little, how do I describe it? A little rollout map. It looks like a little tube. He just rolls it out and then it folds out. And he will try to figure out where the hell they land.
Okay. Fortunately for you, it is still pretty late into the night, so the constellations are out. Go ahead and make a intelligence roll and add your proficiency bonus.
And add one other thing, too. Squish perches up on your shoulders like kind of a great big scarf, and just gently presses a little pseudopod to your carapace, and a mild biochemical reaction occurs wherein you feel just a little more relaxed and clear-headed. Yep, I think Thomas... Oh, no, wait. Thomas wants
No, I was rolling for something else. Don't worry about
So
it.
He said, damn it, wrong button. Sorry, give me a second. He said intelligence check.
Yep, intelligence plus your proficiency.
Ha! To that 20. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
So it was Squish's guidance, and then what was the other bonus you gave him?
Proficiency.
Okay.
All right. Let me see if I can get Roll20 to cooperate a little bit, because I just realized, like, I was changing the pages for myself, and I forgot I had to drag you guys over to each page.
Oh, okay. That was one
Yeah.
that happened.
All right.
I'll be back. I can still hear, I just can't talk for a second.
Okay. All right. So
Sometimes I can still hear Jack's voice. Quick,
Harry
everybody.
on the night.
Yeah,
Talk shit about him.
Yeah, start saying how much you love Jack.
I'm so fond of Jack.
Yeah, he's great.
I like to torture him.
Well, you like to torture everyone you love, so you just look even more gay.
That sounds about right.
all right. So with that roll of 18, Skrag, using the constellations, you see a constellation of a centaur and a woman warrior fighting each other. You're also able to identify a constellation known as a Monthor's Belt, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And a few other constellations. There's one of a harp, another of a crown, and you're able to ascertain that you are on the backwater planet of Toril.
Yeah, he will definitely relate that information on Toril.
Okay.
And I heard every single word. I should have unmuted myself, but you wouldn't like it.
All right. And then I'd say, like, with as the three of you head down to the beach to kind of survey the coastline, you ascertain that you are on either some kind of coastline or possibly an archipelago. As you see to the north, there is along the coastline, you can make out kind of the distant mountains about a good 35-40 miles off, and just a wide expanse of ocean that spreads out before you as you're kind of walking through the debris of the ship. Athoz, make a perception check for me.
Oh no, he's dead.
Oh no.
Zest.
Zest?
Sorry, I got distracted for a second.
Oh, no problem. Make a perception check for me.
Oh god. Alright, let's see. New character. This will say what my fucking let's see, perception. PPP. What the heck?
That
doesn't look right.
Correct.
What happened? Oh, I think hang on.
Oh, did you have a modifier for guidance on?
I think so. I don't know why though.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I guess doesn't really matter.
Yeah, 5.
Wait, so is there a toggle for guidance somewhere?
Yes. So if you go into the gear, if you look on the very right, you should have it should show global. Show global skill modifier field. So you can basically add whatever modifiers you want, and it will show it. So you can click on it and.
All right, everyone should probably have that. I'm going to be using guidance a bit.
So yeah, it's basically that's how you show things like guidance and all that stuff.
Oh, there it is.
You can
Yeah, look at that, Zest.
And
There you were saying you can't use Roll20 for beans, and I don't think Jack or I knew about this at all.
I never knew.
I stumbled.
Right.
I could have used that for fucking barbarian shit this whole goddamn time. Okay.
But yeah, as you survey the coastline, kind of about 10 miles out, you see what looks like a kind of a small, rather primitive coastal village. You see a few lights on in some of the buildings, and kind of small trails of smoke that rise up to the sky. And Athoz, as you're walking along, you trip over something.
Ow! Oh heavens! And he looks down. What the heck is this? What do I see?
All right, what is this, Lyssa?
What?
You tripped
You
over.
have to say it like that.
Like what is this? As it trips. Like
Wait. How tall is your character, Zest?
My Athoz is 7 feet tall.
Oh
And how
my God.
short is yours?
How much did I put her? 3 feet and
Oh
1
my
inch,
God.
1.5 inches. I had to throw that in there. 1.5 inches.
Because you are surrounded by people that are over 7 feet tall.
Yeah,
This is hilarious. Except Squish.
yeah.
Well,
Alright.
Squish is variable. Just depends on how much mass it's eaten at any given time.
Yeah.
So,
yes, I tripped.
You trip over something, and you hear, "Ow! You fucking overgrown house cat."
Oh, that's a bit rude. Wait a minute.
So she was otherwise like stealth, or like just sleeping, or quiet.
No, she's just
Just
short.
walking.
She's
So
just short.
okay. Well, and we're walking at night, right?
Yes.
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 All right, don't even worry about it. I'm just going to say Squish is in its bottle. But as soon as it hears an unfamiliar voice shouting, Squish is going to burst out of the bottle and try to pin the halfling.
No, Squish. No, wait.
Wait a minute, little buddy. Hold on. She could be friend.
Oh,
I
I
will
am
need
sorry.
to. I will say one thing, Zest.
What's that?
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Let's see.
Uh-oh.
this is about to get cursed.
Why am I? Why do I still have fucking guidance on? Hello? Oh, that's why. God damn it! I hate when it does that. Anyway, I guess 13. I guess.
You do not make it.
Okay. What happens?
So, this little fucking thing looks up at you, calls you an overgrown house cat. You probably don't know what the hell house cat is. It sounds pretty rude, though. And you want to punt it.
So, as I wanted to punt it.
Yeah, like you're mad. Like you're mad at it.
Okay. So in exchange, I need this small child to do another wisdom saving throw.
All right.
As he belts in and lets out a loud roar.
Does the roar happen to cause like a fear effect?
Yes.
It doesn't work.
She is completely
down.
Yeah, she is completely unfazed.
Now, if you two are finished, whatever.
Oh yeah, well
this-
then, everyone's making
Oh.
everyone else do rolls, so before you get into that, Jack, can I get a strength from you, Pidge?
Oh boy.
Strength is my dump stat.
Oh,
Hey.
oh God!
9. Why did
Okay, good.
I'm turning that off. I can't stand that. Well,
That is hilarious.
mine was not a crit fail, so
Oh
Yeah.
well, actually, hold on. Sorry, I actually do need to roll that again because I got advantage on that, don't I? Can I just permanently put an advantage on my athletics?
You
in
sh-
that regard?
You can-
Oh no, wait, no, it's not for all athletics. It's for grapple.
You can query advantage.
There we go.
So 7.
All right. So Ari is grappled by Squish.
Yep, you are trussed up like a Thanksgiving turkey.
she is going to be slinging insults. Give me another fucking wisdom save.
All right, that's it.
Um,
Hold that.
Squish
thing
as
still.
well, I take it.
Yes.
Hold that thing still.
Why
I
are
can't
we
believe that
insulting?
Zest was actually starting out trying to be cordial to your character, and you made sure that he'd still abuse it this whole game.
Why are we insulting a child?
Hey,
I don't know.
Squish doesn't even know what a child is. You all come in different sizes.
Squish, squish.
Again, the
Squish.
wisdom save has failed. You are now angry
Oh,
at this fucking thing.
That's it.
Well, that's a new character for Lyssa. I guess I'm gonna eat her now. Although I don't know. Can
squish off of her. Come on now. She could
Okay.
be your friend.
Um,
Get
Squish
in the
is
bottle.
really squeezing after that anger, but when Skrag tells Squish to let her go, Squish is immediately back on Skrag's shoulders.
No, he's focusing on the lion. Are you going to continue assaulting a child?
Depends on what that
I'm not
child
a
wants.
fucking kid.
She actually can't hear him. She just hears. She sees this. Okay, so
Oh, so okay. So
What
he
she
doesn't, he's
sees-
not like talking in common.
no, he's not talking at all.
Oh,
Like
okay.
what
As
she
most
sees
okay.
is this large. I'm talking about at his head. It's about 7.5, but including the two very horn-like protrusions from his head, an easy 8.5, 9 feet almost.
Gotcha.
It looks like a bipedal rhinoceros beetle,
Neat.
basically. It's chittering and focused on the lion dude. Doesn't seem to be saying anything, but it's moving its arms as if it's talking.
All right. So she's just fucking staring at it.
It
At all
depends on-
three of them, like, what the?
And Athoz is gonna say, well, it depends on what this child wants to do next.
I'm not a fucking kid. And she's pointing at him.
Really now.
No, I do not think she is a child. I tasted her a tiny bit, and she does not taste like a child would.
Oh,
Loving this party already.
you see the kind of the body of the beetle just kind of the full body sigh, like wonderful.
And then she digs her hands into her pockets and she tilts her head and is looking around and she's like, so what the fuck are you guys?
We should be.
I
asking
am
that question.
Squish.
I am Athoz.
And now the beetle turns to her, takes a claw and points at his head, and then points at her head, like as if asking permission.
Just blinks and shrugs as if to say, like, go ahead. I don't fucking care.
Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Excellent. Well, as you see, we have a little bit of a dilemma. He motions back to the ship that's crashed.
Oh,
Yeah, it looks like shit.
How far away are we from the ship again?
Oh,
Like-
I'm pretty sure you can see probably the line of debris, or the
Oh,
line
yeah.
of debris could see maybe even shit, fucking fire. Who knows?
The tail of it.
Yeah, it's not on fire. I'd say probably about like half a mile away from the beach, and then behind the ship is just kind of like it's just a line where the ship just kind of carved through the forest.
Squish looks in the same direction that Skrag is motioning and goes, "Oh, I almost hit the water. I was so close."
Yes, you were, Squish. And
You
we're
got
very
assaulted.
proud of you. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And now we're just trying to figure out where exactly we are.
You're in the bumfuck middle of nowhere is where you're at.
I've gathered that.
Unfortunately.
Yes,
Really
they
close
don't
to
have
a
any
city.
ships.
She's
Sorry,
gonna
go ahead.
thumb over her shoulder in the direction of the little fishing village, and she's like, "It's only fishermen and whatnot over there. You're not gonna really find anybody."
Interesting. So now what?
It's hard to say.
We can go
Fortunately.
back to the captain and tell him where we are. The bumfuck middle of nowhere.
Does this bumfuck middle of nowhere have a name?
Thomas, what was the city again?
I DM'd you. The town that you're a part of is named Cobb. The island that you are on is called Aileron, and Aileron is part of the Moonshay Isles.
I was gonna say that.
That tells us very little.
It's just. But he pulls out the map again and like unfolds it and folds. All right, folds that one up, spins it back up again. All right. Suppose we should inform the captain.
He's not gonna like that answer, but yes, we probably should. Once we get to the ship, I'll be able to summon, I'll be able to summon Philomena so I can see more of this, primitive place.
So what do you need to get your doohickey fixed?
A lot.
Skrag, I did not even know we had a doohickey.
She's talking about the ship, little guy.
Oh,
It's a really big.
and harder to steer than it looks.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, whoever was driving it did a shit job.
Okay, now wait a minute. Wait a minute. My little friend here got us free from the things that were attacking us. Just be a little bit more easier on him.
He just shrugs.
Just be careful what you say.
It is okay. It is true. I did a job.
You did a great. Pat, pat.
Squish wiggles a little at the padding.
Hey, Skrag, you wouldn't happen to maybe able to make something like a web of sorts, would you? Or have a rope in that, bag of yours?
Now, there's really no way to see an expression on a beetle's face, but the way it turns to the line and just stare. Do I look like a fucking spider?
I don't know. I mean, I figured I asked before I ask Squish to do what I'm gonna ask her to do.
I have rope, yes, but for what?
We're gonna bring this child with us, the captain.
I'm not a child.
Why are
She is
you
not a
roping?
child?
Why would you? Do you want to come with us?
She looks around, shrugs. Sure, why not?
And then he looks at the line again and points a claw at her. Asking permission, or asking a question is a very good thing instead of tying somebody up and forcing them along. We are pirates, not ingrates. There's a difference.
Normally, a normal person in a backwater planet like this would be kind of afraid of a
Why,
telepathic
if it's a backwater place, seeing something suddenly come from the sky and us come out of it could be a very fascinating prospect.
or a very frightening one. I mean, look at us. We have a prismatic slime thing. We have a giant rhinoceros beetle, and we have a talking lion. Not exactly probably normal in this place, actually. As he looks back at Ari, do you have anything that resembles us in this planet of yours?
No, you're all really fucking weird.
See, our normal person will probably be afraid.
Let's go back to the captain.
Fine. Come on, child. Let's go.
I'm not a child!
Her name is Ari.
Wait, how do you know that?
Oh, sorry. I guess she didn't actual herself.
No.
Did you?
We all did, but she didn't.
No, I don't think any of us really
No,
did.
nobody did.
No, Squish did, and Athoz
Squish did, yeah.
Squish and Athoz did. I think Skrag and
No,
and Ari
Skrag did because Squish already said his name out loud.
So yeah, so we don't know who the heck this child is, as far as we know.
They didn't ask, though.
They didn't ask. You
They
kind
were
of
going to on the way, or Skrag was going to along the way.
and then you insulted us and made us angry somehow.
Yeah, that's what you fucking get.
So along the way. So what should we call you?
Ari.
Alright. Well, as you know, this is the overgrown house cat. Squish. Skrag.
Let me guess. He likes tummy rubs.
You can certainly try.
Yeah, it might not end well.
He actually likes scratches behind the
As Athoz uses his large tail to smack Skrag.
as if he could really feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they walk back to the captain.
Okay. And as you're approaching the wreckage, you can see the lieutenant and gunnery sergeant kind of doing a head count. As you see a good portion of the crew made it. You recognize the Thri-kreen, the other Thri-kreen on board named Crick, the Astral elf twins, the human staff, the two dwarves, the two Gith.
Yeah, we both have GIF and GIF.
That is definitely not going to get mixed up at some point.
Definitely not.
If it helps, all of the officers of the ship are Gith,
As in hippos.
as in hippos. Yes.
Okay. Alright,
So
because yeah,
more
that's what you were
fucking
saying.
big things.
Gith.
Yep.
Yeah.
The ship has a lot of big people.
Yes.
That's why it's a big ship.
Yeah,
Just curious.
as basically the captain and the commander are the only ones dressed in red, and then everyone else, it's like a mix of kind of gold for the more like military personnel, like the weapon gunners, and blue, which is more of the kind of science expeditionary side of the ship. And yeah, you see the lieutenant and gunnery sergeant doing a head count, and kind of as you step up into the what remains of the cargo hold, you see much of the debris has been cleared out, and you see the commander with a clipboard as he's recounting what's been damaged or destroyed in the cargo hold. As you step up and Claudius is counting off, what we have left is the cage of 5 space eels, the crate of 20 wheels of cheese, and a crate containing 20 potions of healing, Captain. And the captain, he has a stern frown on his face, and he says, "And my favorite dragon chess set, number 1, destroyed, sir. Damn those Neogi. Damn them all to the hells."
Damn you, dude.
You damn dirty eel spider.
Damn.
Are the pieces of the chess set nearby?
Yes, they are. They're kind of mixed in with the debris that you've moved out of the way. It's kind of all mashed together into a pile of kind of a mix of splinters, wood, and you also see like the broken pistols and shattered boxes of what once contained bullets.
Well, Squish is going to try to fix the dragon chess set while everyone else is talking.
All right.
Just gets down into the little pile of various broken shit and absorbs broken, puts them back together, and spits them out one at a time.
Okay. All right. As the commander finishes counting off the list, as he finishes off with we also lost the 2 crates of bread, as Captain just bursts out with a bollocks. This is just, this reminds me of our time in Space. Do you remember that, Claudius? As the commander nods. I remember, Captain. And then Boswell, just before he's about to go into a long-winded story, finally notices the 3 of you and sees kind of Squish squirming around in the pile of debris. As he says, Skrag, have you determined our location yet?
Someplace called Toril. Don't know much about it.
Yes. It's haven't.
It is the bumfuck middle of nowhere.
Squish.
Yes, it is a backwater bumfuck middle of nowhere. Squish, you are correct, but it is also really close to our destination, the Brow. I can't say I've spent much time on Toril. It's a backwater planet. People here haven't discovered the fine art of spell jamming yet, and I see you've found a local.
Yeah, we brought a child with us.
I'm not a fucking kid, you overgrown fucking house cat.
As Boswell is gonna kind of jump down from the lip of the cargo hold, as he is going to kind of lower himself down onto one knee. 9 feet tall. He is about 2 feet taller than you now, Ari. As he says, "I'll forgive the rude manners of my crew, young lass. May I ask your name?"
She huffs. She's gonna stick up a middle finger at Athoz and then be like, "Name's Ari. I'm sure people from the village are gonna get here soon."
Yes, the village. I suppose, perhaps a fishing village,
Yep.
considering our location? Okay. Good. Perhaps we can enlist your people into repairing our ship.
Not a lot of magic casters or anybody that could know how the hell to fix this. Gestures around.
No worries. We just need a good shipwright, some honest, hardworking men, and perhaps a few hundred pounds of gold, and we'll be in tip-top shape in no time. But,
Well, I don't think we can help you with the gold part. Everybody's broke as shit. The fishing village.
yes, I imagine so. But fortunately, we do have some of our cargo intact, so we may have to perform some privateering work, lads. But that's beside the point. Where are my manners? I am Captain Boswell Barrett, captain of the Astral Reaver. It is a pleasure to meet you, Ari. This is my number 1, Commander Claudius Armstrong. 2 other GIF over there are Lieutenant Percival Davies and Gunnery Sergeant Lysandra Taylor. It was not our intention to drop in unannounced, so to speak. It was a bit of an emergency landing, so I hope you are not too inconvenienced by our arrival.
Nah, it's probably the coolest shit that's happened this year.
What was the coolest that happened last year?
You don't want to know.
Oh, do not want to know.
Good. Very well. All right.
If you guys haven't noticed yet, she cusses like a sailor.
Which
You
is
don't
funny because we're
say.
surrounded
Yeah.
by sailors and most of them barely cuss at all.
Yeah.
Those
Love her
skiff
already.
Navy boys, very, very proper.
As Boswell nods and says, "Very well. And how far is your village, Miss Ari?"
A couple doohickeys that way, and she points in the general direction of the town. Northeast, or northwest, sorry.
Northwest, yes. All right. As Boswell gives a nod and says, "All right. Skrag, how much of a meal do you think you can prepare with 5 space eels and 20 wheels of cheese?"
I can work up some magic.
I'll be sure to have some of the boys help you scavenge around here. I'm sure there's... And he'll kind of glance over at Ari for confirmation. Edible vegetation? Herbs? Vegetables?
Yeah, most of the stuff in the forest is edible. Probably won't taste good, though.
Miss Ari, you have not tasted some of the fine dining that our cook here has managed to put together. With a cooking fire and without, if I may add.
Skrag
Okay.
is very good at.
Meanwhile, he just goes over, find the nearest spider eel, and just starts butchering it. Like dragging it off somewhere where he can have a relatively clean, quote-unquote, spot to do that.
Yeah, honestly, it's just over Squish, like a tarp, absorbs all the detritus.
Yeah.
Squish likes good food, but Squish is not terribly fussy. Organic molecules are organic molecules, baby.
Very true. No waste.
All right, as you see Lieutenant Percival kind of coming up to approach, as it says, "Commander, I finished the head count. We're missing 9 crew members. I have no doubt some of them were taken by the damned spider eels themselves. I seem to vaguely remember seeing Nilly, Zimmy, and Curator during the crash after the enchantment, but it's all a blur, sir." As the commander looks over to Boswell and says, "Do you hear that, Captain?" Boswell gives a nod and says, All right. So, 6 of our crew have been taken by the Neogi. We're missing 3. All right. Miss Ari, if we may enlist your assistance as a guide." And then he's interrupted by some shouts, as it looks like there's a ragtag militia approaching. You can see the light of the torches kind of cutting through the tree canopy, following the trail that the ship has cut through the forest. As you hear a voice say, "Look over there, they've got Ari hostage!"
Looks like we're making friends with the locals already.
As they hear the shouts, the crew kind of scrambles to arms. Some of them just kind of picking up whatever random debris is left, like random planks of wood. You see one of the dwarves is holding one of the cooking pots like a shield, and the captain gives a nod to the commander as Claudia steps forward to try to negotiate some sort of peace. Ari, are you going to kind of also intervene?
She probably laughs at what's going on, because the whole doesn't feel fear thing. Fear doesn't work. Yeah, she'll step forward and be like, "Y'all are idiots! Relax! Just as lost as the rest of y'all."
As see one of the human farmers, probably a guy named like Jeff, is like, "Oh, so you're not being held against your will?"
No, they offered food. They're cooking some weird eel things.
And you hear like a few murmurs among the Melissa, and it's probably a group of like 20, as they're all just kind of looking at each other, and you can get the general sense of there's a, "oh, this is awkward now" sort of vibe, as they came ready to like kill people once they noticed that something fell from the sky and their town priestess went missing. As one of the halflings in the mob is like, do they like to drink?"
She looks at the group. "Well, do y'all like booze?"
I like drinking. Yes.
As,
I don't drink, but I can hang around.
They say yeah.
"Do they like fish?"
She looks back at the group.
Athoz is just gonna look at Skrag. Can you cook the fish?
Can do what?
Can you cook the whatever fish they can bring up?
He just motions a claw to the spider eels. "If I can cook this, pretty sure I can cook fish."
Then the answer
They
is
say yeah. Like, her vibe right now is just this gif.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Ari is now permanently Oprah in my head, so good job there.
All right, as the commander helps kind of talk them down a bit, as I'll say he's gonna do a little bit of persuasion. All right, so I guess as the commander talks to the mob for a bit, and is not able to kind of negotiate you guys being taken into their homes, but the villagers do offer some food and some drinks to help you guys out once they start to realize that you don't mean any harm. As one of them speaks up, "Hey Ari, how does their ship fly?"
Fuck if I know!
All right, and then the mob starts to disband as they start kind of walking home. Some of them kind of stick around to kind of stare at like the astral elves and the Gith and the Gif as well, and also kind of stare at the two Thri-kreen members of the crew, which includes Skrag, and then they kind of get bored and start to walk back home.
All right, so Squish finishes repairing the dragon chess set. The best. I mean, if we were in a real rules lawyer game, probably a small thing, but Thomas let us put a golem's head back on with mending, so like at this point all bets are off.
There you go.
But yeah, so Squish comes up to the captain and takes on a medium-sized humanoid form and kind of tries to pin one of the queen pieces, like pushing, actually no, it'd be a bishop, and pushes it through a buttonhole on his jacket as if giving him a medal.
As the captain sees what Squish is doing and kind of humors him as he says, thank you for my promotion to, as he picks up the piece, kind of stares at it and says, Bishop. Yes, thank you, Squish. I accept it with honor.
You are welcome, Dip Captain. And with that, Squish is like, Skrag,
Yes.
should we go see what fish they have?
Any good idea? So he's going to follow along.
All right.
Also,
He was
the
behind, half slaughtered.
Also, the wolf eels are spicy.
Oh, I can get.
They were taking everything in the kitchen. I was real mad, but I stay hidden because that's what you told me to do.
Did very well, Pat.
All right, as you both get ready to go, the captain's gonna shout over to Athoz and say, Athoz, go with Skrag and Squish and see if Miss Ari is willing to give you a tour of her humble home.
As he looks down, where's Ari? She's close to me.
Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?
As he looks down to Ari, he's like, I don't know about that. Hopefully.
Thomas, would there be feasibly anything on the ship that could easily be, not missed?
There's not a lot aboard right now. They took most of our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that while the talking was going on, you wandered. You maybe got a little bit bored and kind of went rifling through the cargo hold. You now have a cage full of space eels.
Live space eels?
Live space eels. As it's looks like this, almost like a bird cage. And it's kind of like this electrum filigree around it. As there are these 5 tiny eels kind of swirling around inside of it. And the spaces between the bars look like they're kind of filled in with glass. And there's this sort of weird kind of rainbow-colored glass, or rainbow-colored gas on the inside, and that the eels are swimming around in, and it gives them this sort of like rainbow sparkling effect. Very similar to Squish. As Athoz, you look for Ari, you don't see her, and then you realize that she's stepping out of the cargo hold, and it looks like the captain didn't notice her either, and she's holding the space eel cage.
What's this?
He's just gonna calmly walk over to Ari and just pick the cage along with her. It's like, what are you doing?
Exploring.
I see. Well, let that go for a second because we need to explore your hometown.
But that's boring. Okay.
As he gently shakes the cage to make it let go. Look, maybe you can talk to the captain to come with us once we somehow fix this ship.
That'd be neat. Let's go.
As he puts down the cage. Besides, I got a lot of questions about the mystery of this planet.
What do you want to know? There's all sorts of stuff.
How about you tell me when we see something of interest?
There isn't going to be much, but sure.
Alright, let's go catch up with Skrag and Squish.
Okie dokie.
Alright. As you catch up with Skrag and Squish, you're basically kind of following along the trail of destruction that the ship left as it was crashing. Other than the broken trees, the mess of the ground, and it just seems like a lot of the usual like animals and wildlife got scared away. But you do. I'll say Squish does come across a bush full of edible berries and just absorbs the whole bush.
Well, we're looking for food. Squish
yeah.
isn't that great.
Okay.
Though, incidentally, our impact. Did we land on the shore or past the shore? Did we hit any sand?
I'm gonna say it's kind of like you skidded across, like.
Yeah, the first impact would have turned all that immediate sand into glass.
All right. As you follow the trail of destruction, kind of following along the coastline, and then you see the first impact, and it's just a mass of a crater made of solid glass.
Squish goes over to the, I guess it wouldn't be fulgurite, impact glass? Squish
not
breaks a
entirely
little
sure.
piece off to eat it.
But, along the beach you do come across some crabs.
Yeah, Squish is just in a hunter-gatherer mode, so any food nearby Squish is gathering, but placing in an inert pocket inside its body, so it's not digested.
Okay. Go ahead and make a survivor roll for me.
Wow, I have rolled
Wow.
a ton of ones tonight. Squish accidentally eats everything that they were gathering.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you pick berries, put them in the pocket, and then you just kind of forget about them as they're being digested. Pick up the crabs, put them in a pocket, forget about them as they're slowly being digested.
Oh no, I was supposed to not be eating these things. They were really good, Skrag. They're very good. This planet has a lot of good flavor.
That's good to know.
Skrag, you're able to grab a crab before Squish can get to it.
Oh, yeah. So he will just take the crab and it's just one crab, but he can probably do it.
Yeah, like as you pick it up, it tries to kind of pinch you, and it's like just a little like pat against your chitinous shell.
Yeah, my
you do
shell's
collect
better than
more-
yours, buddy. Sorry.
If you do collect more Squish, try not to eat it. Okay, we're gonna need it.
I am sorry, Skrag. I will try to find something bigger.
That could work.
As you do find something bigger, it's one of the Neogi that survived the crash, as it's been kind of slowly dragging itself away this entire time.
Better than nothing. Go ahead and grab it.
Okay. Squish does so, seizing it about its eely neck, and
So right now, is it only
break its neck.
Is it only them two heading to the village?
Ari and Athoz catch up with you.
Just in time to see Squish savagely execute a prick.
Huh. Having fun?
Nothing Athoz hasn't seen before, I guarantee you that.
Yeah, it's like having fun there, you two?
Collecting meal components.
I found a great many fruits, and then I found many crabs, but I ate them all by accident. I am sorry.
It's okay, little guy. Well, it doesn't seem like there's a shortage of natural resources.
Yes, it is very green, and the sky is very dark.
It's because it's nighttime.
Squish turns to that comment and says, yes, the sun is not shining here, but on many worlds the sky is lit up. It's spelljam, but there are no spelljam.
What is a spelljammer?
How to put this simply?
A magical ship.
There you go. That's the simplest way we can put it.
He just cuts right in. A magical ship. It's not exactly like the fishing boats you have. It has to be steered a certain way. But overall, it's just...
And she looks back at the ship that crashed. So how are you supposed to steer it then?
With a big chair.
Specifically with magic as well.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay. And she's going to lead the way to the town,
Mm-hmm.
in which she is going to, I guess, show them around. She's never done this before, so she doesn't know, what to introduce, what to be like, here is this.
Well, on the way back to the village, Squish walks behind Ari and takes on the exact silhouette of her body. following perfectly in her.
All right.
Yeah, so it's probably about around like very early, like crack of dawn morning. The sun kind of just coming over the horizon as you reach the outskirts of the village. You see, you recognize some faces from the mob from last night as they all look very tired, and they're like, "Oh, hey Ari, good morning,"
Morning.
and so on and so forth. So you take the group around the town. You show them the pig pen. You show them the some of the drying racks where the fish are. You show them like the small like little tannery kind of on the far outskirts of town. You show them like the common house where the village usually takes in visitors. It's for everyone
Probably
that
the
has,
worst tour ever.
Yeah, I'd say for anyone that has ever seen the wondrous sights of wild space, this is fucking boring.
Hold on a second. I need to make little. I guess it'd be. Oh yeah, Squish does not just wander off. Squish decides to stay.
Squish is a wonder. This is very homely. Yeah, that's the word we went with. It was very homely.
I think
Sorry.
I understand the phrase "bumfuck middle of nowhere."
Squish now, that's not polite.
Oh, I am sorry. I did not mean. I was merely saying how this place is extremely boring and has nothing for anyone.
You're absolutely right.
That's not any better. Squish, we need to talk about subtlety sometime.
I suppose it's okay if she's calling it that as well.
Their boats, all they can do is water.
I don't think they have a need to go into space like we.
Well, what about the air? There's good meat in the air on all kinds of planets.
That is true.
You have
And
boats that go on air?
Not around here.
Oh,
Might be some time before we can leave.
So, do you know what's the closest largest city or town?
Hey Thomas, could you send me the
Yes.
map?
Oh, yes. I will send you the map.
Like the full map since
I've-
she's a local.
Yeah, I will send you the full map. Something I probably should have done before. Give me just a second.
I've been sitting here trying to fucking bullshit it this whole
Oh,
time.
I'm sorry. Here you go. Here's the full map with all the labels and everything.
Yippee! Scroll around. So the question was, where's the nearest large city?
Yes.
Assuming that would be without saying to the north.
Yes. Yep, to the northwest.
Gotcha. She'd think about that, like the question, and be like, it's a town called Caladir. It's a couple days away.
What do you think the captain would repair?
Small correction. It is about a day and a half away.
She has little legs.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Will we know what the captain would need for the ship to be repaired?
Yeah. So basically, he would want a shipbuilder to that could fix up the ship. And then next he'll need is the funds required to pay for the cost of labor and the materials. Fortunately, there is a forest full of materials around the ship. So the hard part is going to be, or the biggest thing is going to be hiring somebody that can repair ships.
And then Athoz lets out a sigh, says, well, we're going to need to find a shipwright, a damn good one at that. And then
Of course.
we'll need to find a way to pay that shipwright. Unfortunately, they took pretty much everything, I think, of value.
Well, I'm concerned about the magic of the ship. We have, of course, somebody can steer it, but pretty sure they come with other components that may not find.
how long would you say Skrag has been aboard as crew?
I'd say probably for a little while. Or, I mean, we could say that he's a kind of a recent addition to the crew. Like, maybe not
Yeah,
as...
relatively new hire.
Yeah, so it's like maybe not his first voyage, but he's He's done a few trips.
Well, I'm just saying, being an artificer and all, I feel like he'd probably have a better idea of what they would as far as mills
Oh, okay.
enchantment.
Right.
Yeah. So the way spelljammers work is that it's actually the chair that makes the ship fly.
Oh, okay.
So you just need to repair the vessel.
Just a vessel. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't too sure about that. All right.
I think as far as my limited knowledge of spelljammers go, it should be fine. We just need to fix like the outer layers, as far as I know. But I'm not very. My ship jamming mechanics are not very good at best. So you would have to talk to the captain about that if we need more magical knowledge than I can provide at the moment. So I suppose we should probably try to head to the largest city to see if we can find a shipwright and try to barter with him to see if he can help us fix the ship and how much.
But that answer does not matter as much, because the answer of how much does it cost is a number that does not matter if we do not have any money.
We would still need to know how much it would cost so we can find a way to make said money.
What kind of money does your world use, Ari?
Actually, that's a good question. What kind of money does this world use?
Typically gold.
Unless we can find a cave of a space dragon and steal that hoard, I'm not sure if there's anything close to that.
I will get a job.
I think we will all need to get a job if worst comes to worst, little one.
I'm just imagining Squish working a 9 to 5 as like garbage disposal.
Yeah.
9 to 5. This motherfucker doesn't sleep and doesn't have a high enough int score to get truly bored. Distracted? Yes, but bored? Doesn't really make sense.
Okay, gotcha.
Skrag, what is the word that dark planets use for the people who fix things?
That what planet use?
Oh, sorry, I said dark. I assumed that would be the common term for it, which is to say a planet that has not yet left its atmosphere. It's a classic of sci-fi stuff, you know, planets that
Right.
are still, like, that haven't made any meaningful contact with other worlds. They get called dark planets. If
Right.
there's another word, though, Thomas, I'd love to hear it.
Not that I know of, but I'll see if, while I'm digging through Spelljammer books, I'll see if there's like a lexicon or something.
It's an awakened planet with that.
Depends on what's being fixed.
I could fix things for money.
You sure can. You have the magic to do it, the ability to do it.
Yes, it is all putting shapes back together.
So, Miss Hari, do you have any work for us?
Me? Not really. I run the little temple down the way, but she just kind of shrugs. You could try down by the docks.
Oh, you have a temple?
Ugh.
I'm the town priest.
Aren't priests more as he like has a mental image of a like a saint or like a nun? Aren't priests more of how do I put this? Gentler
She raises an eyebrow.
Gentler approach to things instead of screaming out curse words every so often.
Well,
You know.
you did step on her.
She was very short, okay?
I can't help that, motherfucker.
She does have a very interesting bedside manner. I like it.
Very different.
I can help it. I can make you taller.
What?
Um,
Oh no.
Squish just slides under Ari's feet and kind of just raises like a surprisingly sturdy platform underneath her to put her at eye level with the rest of the party.
You guys see the world like this? What the fuck?
What do you mean, see the rest of the world like this? It's not that bad.
We see many worlds.
Yeah, we do.
Just looks around. Let me see if I can find like the gif. There it is. She's looking around like this.
But yeah, as far as work goes, there is probably a bulletin board of some kind in the center of town, in I guess what would be considered the village square.
Athoz is gonna go and look at the board to see if there's anything that can give us direction before we head back to the captain.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, I'll accept that somehow this entire universe is common, but legit, do you think any of us could actually read this planet's local language as written?
I mean, that's a good point.
roll intelligence.
Let's see, that's a good point. Even though I can speak common, doesn't mean I can read common. Hang on. Let's see. I misplaced my sheet. You said roll straight intelligence?
Yeah, intelligence.
Alright, let's do it again. 18, I think?
I think that would be a 9.
Okay. Why is it? I hate when it does that. Anyway, yeah, 9.
Okay. Yeah, this planet's handwriting is atrocious. It's like chicken scratch.
Can I make like a word or two out of it out of the Sugar Scratch, but not enough to know what it says, or is it just undecipherable?
With a 9,
Yeah, with a 9, I'd say it just looks like chicken scratch. It's
Can you not read?
indecipherable cryptic runes of unknowable knowledge.
Unfortunately, whoever wrote this thing needs a better penmanship.
That's from a printing press.
A printed what now?
She just face palms and reads it for them.
and this is a perfect opportunity to leave us, of course, and it's there.
I mean, you can make an insight roll if you want.
I mean, it's common, right?
Yes.
All right, you know what?
Yeah,
You
that's
know what?
correct.
God, you know what? I'm just gonna do this. As
Really
he,
gonna-
as you just, I just could touch the glyph, the paper. I'm just gonna see my magic way here.
Comprehend languages. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just like he takes a little bit of digs through his bag and gets a grain of salt that he stole from Skrag's kitchen, and he just crushes it with his claw, and then touches the board to read.
Okay. Yeah.
So what am I looking at?
All right. What you're looking at is what you were first looking at was apparently Ari's handwriting to basically publicly demanding that people stop going to her to help them birth their cattle, and that she is a priestess, not a witch, to stop with the love potion bullshit.
As Athoz reads that, he looks perplexed, and then he looks. Wait, is Ari still on top of Squish?
I'm assuming so. She's probably
Yeah,
sitting by this
Squish.
point.
Squish would have just moved her to where she wanted to be from gently intuiting her body language.
And he's just gonna look at at Ari, like seriously.
Let me find a GIF to explain it.
And
Seriously.
as you continue looking over the rest of the bulletin board,
He's sitting there like this.
you see like another notice of like a missing tea set. Somebody's missing their pet dog, and you see another notice that's saying that there is work over in Ogden for anybody that is available. Doesn't specify what kind of work, just says that there is work in Ogden.
Miss Ari, do you know where Ogden is?
West. Like,
West.
straight west.
How long do you think it'll take us to get there?
I don't know. A couple hours.
Well, as Athoz looks at Skrag and Squish, it's like, well, we can always go and find work in Ogden. Apparently, there's someone looking for people for work. Doesn't really specify what kind of work we're concerning, but we don't really have much of a choice.
Coin is coin.
Coin is coin. Should we take the town priestess with us?
You think you can stop her if she wants to go?
I mean, that's a good point. She's complaining about everything being so boring, so might as well just take her out on a walk to Ogden.
Oh my god, walkies.
the big cat lion person's talking about a fucking halfling to take it to a walk. If that's not ironic, I don't know what that is.
I love this party so much already.
So, I mean, Miss Ari said that it'll take us about a couple hours to get to Ogden. So we should probably head over there and see what we can find for work and come back. Most likely.
But what about the food for the ship?
Well, I know that the village allowed us to have some food, so we can use that for tonight. And once we gather enough information of the food, we can send that information back to the captain and work from there. We'll report back to the captain. How about that? And then we'll report what we've seen so far and what we can eat, so they can self-sufficient themselves. And if Miss Ari allows it, we can have one of the village people go over there and teach them any of the wildlife they can eat. Well, Miss Ari?
I'm sure she thinks about it for a second. She's like, you know, The cook at the inn, I'm sure he would love to share all his recipes. Always talking about something. He's got nothing better to talk about.
Well, there you go. So we'll go back to the captain, talk about the stuff that we found so far, and then Miss Hari can get the cook to come over to the ship, and they'll handle it. And then we'll go to Agadan to see what this work is. Figure out from there.
So money first, and then
We'll be
No,
able to.
we're going to make sure that we have something maybe normal. We can't wipe out the entire.
And we do have like a large left. Wow, we have a lot.
Take your time.
Sound it out, says. Sound it out. And we do have a large mouse to feed too.
I do not have a mouth.
You were talking about.
Oh, do you want
So-
to go get some fish? That is what they do. They get fish out of the water.
We can take some back.
Yeah, let's go. Besides, I gotta do my summoning as well, so I might as well do it safely. So
Alright.
let's go back to the captain.
All right. Are you stopping by the inn first, or?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it early? Is it late enough for the cook to be up at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fishing village. Everyone probably gets up right with the sun.
Yeah.
Correct.
Basically.
Okay. Let's go to the inn and scare the hell out of the cook.
All right. Yeah. So you go to the inn. It's some water associated name like the Salty Urchin or something like that. Kind of more tavern than inn, but there are like maybe 2-3 rooms available to rent. Very small place. Feels more like a dive bar than like any like large establishment. As the chef, we'll say his name is Talbot. He's a big, stocky guy, at least big compared to Ari. He's a good maybe like about 6 foot ish, a little bit less. As the 4 of you walk in, and he steps out of the kitchen to greet you as he says, welcome to the Salty. Holy shit, what the fuck are you?
I
It
am
is.
Squish.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Talbot, you want to show them how to cook?
Are these the guys that fell from the sky?
Sure are. There's even bigger ones over on their ship.
How big?
Wouldn't
I
you
would
like
mix
to
it.
know, weather boy?
God damn it, I'm a cook, not a weather boy. I keep telling you that.
If it helps, tell him that way I don't need to learn how to cook. I'm just fine cooking. I just need the material.
Yeah, but Skrag, you have never cooked this world's before.
It's all the same.
I
Cook as you
don't
go,
know.
taste as you go.
And she thinks about that, and a little mischievous glint appears in her eyes, and she goes, "Yeah, they heard about your cooking. They want to know all about it."
Go ahead.
Let's see what this goes.
Make a persuasion check with advantage because you know Talbot loves to talk about his cooking.
That was a persuasion.
Persuasion with advantage. 23. All right. Yeah. So Talbot is like, "All right, hold on just a moment.
Bring as much as you need. You got some big mouths to feed. You think you can cook all those fancy dishes for a lot of people?"
Let me go grab my cart." As he rushes out of the tavern, brings out this wheelbarrow that one-person wheelbarrow that he kind of pulls behind him, runs back into the kitchen, kind of slides past the 4 of you. He says, "Excuse me," and he starts packing up some pretty decent-sized boxes of dried fish, cooking herbs. You see some grain and flour in there too, and a few other meats like pork, some beef. He says, "I already got all the boxes ready. I heard you were a pretty big crew. Is like some kind of flying ship?"
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We do the thing that is past the flying.
I'm gonna pretend I understand what you mean by that. Like,
Okay.
I will be right back.
you know, there was a carnival that passed through some years back. There was a guy there, I think he called himself Magnifico the Magnificent, and he could float about 6 inches off of the ground. And then there's a bearded lady that I'm pretty sure was just a dwarf on stilts, and he's talking as he's loading up this cart. And then he starts talking about cooking, and it's like playing a record, but there's no way to stop the pictograph. And he just keeps talking and talking. He goes over recipes in detail, and not only goes over the recipes in detail, but preambles before each recipe at least a 5-minute backstory.
Oh God, is he like a living delish page?
Yes.
Delish page.
A living cooking blog.
Oh my God.
It's like you think he's going to tell you about these cookies he makes, but instead he's like talking about this trip he took with his wife 20 years ago.
Exactly.
And like, it is paragraph 4 before he even starts talking about food. And just when you think, all right, this is when it starts up, he instead starts talking about the food they ate on the trip, which is actually different from the food that he was going to teach you how to cook.
Yeah, so like when he's telling you about the carnival, he talks about how there was this popped corn that he ate as a kid. And then he starts talking about how to make candied caramel apples all of a sudden. And it's a little bit of a juxtaposition, but it's also related to the carnival in a way. And he does that about the entire half day it takes to get back to the ship.
Lovely.
All right, Squish,
then-
once again, does not wander off.
Skrag is trying his best not to eat this guy.
Athoz just listened patiently, just nodding along.
And Ari, are you there?
Yep.
You managed.
She's just got this shit-eating grin on her face the whole time.
You just so happen to pocket Talbot's pendant where he has a picture of him and his wife inside. It just so happened to kind of fall into your hand.
Oh, and I presume halflings still have a 25 move.
Yes.
Well, today
Actually,
Ari
she has a 30.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Well, Squish is going to offer you a ride back to the ship, and if you take it, your speed will be 40.
How fast is everyone else moving?
Faster.
Talbot is going at a steady, 30 feet. He's a pretty strong guy, and he's pulling the cart, so he's, maybe moving just, a pace or two slower, but he's keeping up. Yeah, it's about...
Yeah, telepathically, Ari is going to reach out to Skrag, and be like, "You wanted to learn how to cook, and all the cooking is from this guy."
I would like you to know that you are very snack-side. He turns his head towards her, but it's hard to tell if he's amused because his tone in her head just sounds kind of flat.
Either way, she just shrugs and grins.
But yeah, when you get back to the ship, it is probably around noon-ish, probably 2 in the afternoon. As when you get back, there's a kind of haphazardly made camp is set up. As there's a few tents kind of set up around the crash site. There's a kind of central campfire, or it seems like some of the crew members are taking a break from setting everything up, from gathering firewood and everything. And we'll say that Skrag, you see a small gnome-sized automaton approaching you as it gives a very excited ding, as this is the auto-gnome Nilly, your cooking assistant on board the ship. As Nilly chimes in this sort of kind of tinny, not quite digitized or electronic, but kind of has a high tone to it, to her voice. It's I'm not quite sure how to describe it. It's almost like a small high-pitched echo as they speak, as Nelly says, "Skrag, It's good to see you are in one piece. I lost my arm in the crash, but I got better. As she holds up her slightly bent arm that looks like it was kind of just like glued back into place with some tree sap.
Sad.
We would have to get that fixed. Squish, can you fix that?
Yes, I will fix it. Hello, Food Fairy.
Hello, Squish.
And Squish will amend that arm arights.
All right.
And also try some of that dried tree sap that's left over in residue.
Of course. Yeah, it seems like while you were gone, the crew was able to find the 2 missing autognomes and the missing Warforged. Or in this case, they would just be called Forged, as Curator is about this kind of average human height-sized construct, vaguely human in appearance, but his face, he has mechanical eyes, but like where his nose and mouth would be is kind of like smoothed over. There's a kind of a crease where the mouth would be, and otherwise he has kind of like a more or less like human-ish anatomy on a masculine body frame. As he says, good. I am glad that you are all fine. I was buried in the crash, buried under the rowboats down the beach. The rest of the crew was able to find me before some wildlife, some curious wildlife, tried to eat Zimmy. And you'd know that Zimmy is is the other autognome.
Glad to see you're okay, for the most part anyway.
I am still in one piece.
That's good. Well, we meet new friends in this new place, and with the generosity of Miss Ari and the town's cook, we should be settled, at least in terms of resources. Fortunately, we have some news, and I think the captain here as well.
And they're both going to point you over to where the captain is, as you see him kind of seated on a large log. It looks like the humidity of the planet is getting to him a bit, so he's like taking off his coat as he has like a kind of a tank top undershirt on, some sweat stains, as he says, Athoz, Skrag, Squish, Miss Ari, status report.
Well, unfortunately, there's not much in Miss Ari's village. She's the town priest, but that's something to hear or there. We did manage to find that there is work a couple hours from where we are, and we need to find a shipwright to fix the ship, and we need the funds for that shipwright. Unless you somehow manage to convince that shipwright to do it for pro bono, which I kind of doubt.
I know me and the commander are persuasive on good days, but even if I was able to convince him to do it pro bono, I don't think it'd be right to put a working man to work on such a big project for no compensation.
So our next point will probably go to what's it called again? Ogden. Our next point will be probably go to Ogden to see what kind of work they have there. I managed to scrounge up from the chicken scratch that they call words here that there's work there.
As Boswell nods, and he says, very good, Athoz. I see. Well, I'll give the 3 of you leave to go and pursue funds as you see fit. You have my blessing. Just do not turn the people of this little backwater planet against us. I would rather not die on this rock. But yes, you have my blessing to go. Acquire funds as you see fit. I can't say I know how much we'll need to repair the ship, but if the shipwright can give you a quote or an estimate based on the description of the damages, then perhaps we can go from there.
Right.
But yes, you have my leave. Athoz, I believe that makes you commanding officer of your squad, but I'm sure you'll all share the responsibility of leadership according each to your abilities.
Of course. And in the meantime, we'll have, with the generosity of Miss Ari and the town cook, they'll help you in terms of resource gathering and food, since I'm taking Skrag away for a while.
As he gives a nod. Very well. And he'll introduce himself to Talbot, and that's when Talbot finally stops talking, going off like a cooking blog. As
Oh, Talbot, you tell our captain everything you know about cooking. He's an aficionado when it comes to cooking as well.
And you hear Athoz in the background, like whisper, "Oh no."
But yeah, so some of the crew will help with unloading the cart and helping Talbot get ready, as Talbot is regaling the captain with these long-winded stories. And as you're getting situated in kind of the makeshift camp, Lieutenant Percival is gonna show you your kind of makeshift sleeping quarters that they've set aside for you, so that you have some time to rest before you set out. Like, you overhear Talbot finishing a story, and then the captain goes on his own long-winded story, kind of going like, "Oh, that reminds me of the desert planet of such and such a place," and they're both just sharing long-winded stories at each other.
Perfect.
Great. So, Athoz takes this time while they're resting to create I forgot how to spell words actually.
Is it find familiar?
Yes, it's not familiar. Like, he makes a glyph and summons a little owl creature, a little owl near his shoulder.
All right.
I'm sorry, Philomena. I guess those bastards decided to turn on you while I was busy conked out. And yeah, so this owl is just gonna rest on his shoulder, and Ace is gonna look at the other. Says, "Well, let me know when you guys are ready to head out, and we'll head out this."
Well, I have no preparations.
Yeah, moreover, Thri-kreen and Plasmoids don't actually...
That is
Yeah,
true.
no. Yeah.
Miss Ari,
Hmm?
are you ready to go? Or would you like to do
Yep.
any last thing? Okay then. Then let's.
If you
let's
guys
head
are
out.
heading out, you're gonna get yourselves fucking lost.
Well, you did say west, but we would appreciate if you came along with us to guide us this world. So yeah, let's head out to Ogaden.
All right.
So hard to be nice.
Yeah, so
Doing great.
kind of fitting what Ari said that described this place, as you kind of walk back to Cobb and then you start making your way over to Ogden. It is the bumfuck middle of nowhere. You know, you leave the forest and start crossing the hills, following the coast for a while before you turn inland. And you see like some animals here and there, probably some roaming cows, and other such things, but nothing aggressive or nothing that really stands out really crosses your path.
Ah, man, this is very peaceful.
You can say boring.
Squish is going to take advantage of the additional 10-foot worth of speed to travel in kind of an orbit around the party, sweeping the locale for anything that might...
Okay.
I mean, yes, it is a little bit dull, but it is very peaceful, at least compared to the stuff that we've been through for the last couple days.
I can imagine.
Not very fun being, well, I was one of the few that got charmed. Not moving, but that's near there at the moment. But yes, it is very a bit dull.
You're
But
trying
it
to be
has
too
good
nice.
flavors.
As Aces do wildlife.
All right.
Still, anything happened along the way?
I would find it really funny if he saw a cow, right? And that's the thing, cows are docile. So like imagine a cow comes right up to them at the fence line and like he doesn't know if it's like a predator or not.
Actually, I'm not sure why this is like just walking on.
Pretty certain that's not a minotaur.
Well, it looks like a pre-minotaur. Hey, Squish, can you tell if this is delicious or not?
Okay. And Squish pokes the cow with a pseudopod.
The cow moves, bothered and disturbed that this giant slime thing is touching it, and it starts to kind of like trot away.
It is made of meat. Good meat.
Think in mind, hang back. Maybe we can run a couple of those and say and collect them.
That one is owned by someone.
Oh,
It's livestock.
really?
Oh, it is a meat animal. Like those pink ones back in your town.
Yep,
Those penguins.
those pink ones.
What?
The pigs.
Oh,
Pen.
oh,
You're not
right.
talking about the people, are you, Squish?
Oh, yeah, it's like it took a second for Athoz to look concerned, like which of the penguins are we talking about?
Oh, no. The four-legged ones.
Oh, and then and you hear Athoz let a sigh of relief. Oh, thank God! I don't need another incident on my fucking hand.
The captain said not to make enemies. And eating people makes their other people your enemy. So I will not eat.
Good.
So you've eaten people before.
Yes.
That's weird.
Only bad people.
Yeah, we had to help Squish out, differentiate the people that can eat.
See.
Very helpful disposing bodies.
It is a hard concept, but I think I have it.
Yes, you do, little buddy. Yes, you do. So, Miss Ari, anything special about you that we should know?
She thinks, well, I'm one of the only magic users in the town.
Oh.
That's why they think I'm a witch.
Is that why I saw the note about love
Yep.
potions
Yep.
and about giving birth to cattle?
Yep.
Huh. That's Can you do love potions?
She just stares at him.
And he just grins with with teeth.
And she flips him off.
I feel like we have a valiant friendship, Miss Ari.
Which is good, because when you met her, you stepped on her, and then you wanted to put her in a net. So it is good that you're friends now.
Yeah, that was wanting to ask you about that. Why did my senses of trying to kill you sprung up?
Just happens sometimes. Shrugs.
So you're just a magnet of people hating you just if they touch you?
Usually if I get mad at them first.
Great. Good to keep in mind. Anything else?
Just don't step on me.
Is
She
there any,
pokes her dimples.
Is there anything that you want to know about us? Have like
Where are you guys even from? Like, I know you came from up there, and she points up to the sky. But, like, what the fuck?
Well, let's see. I was born in Okeanos and got raised in Sigil, and then joined the crew a bit back, and here we are. At least for my case. I don't know about... for Slime, we kind of ran into it.
Actually, wait, how long has Athoz been?
I think out of the three of us, either he's the second longest or the first longest. I'm not sure when Squish got in. So
Honestly, I think Squish might have been in the ship for a while, and it's just they didn't know why supplies were disappearing.
So I think out of the three of us, Squish might be the oldest here by happenstance, but Athoz is the oldest by like being present of it.
We can say that Athoz was the one who negotiated with their resident Sliman.
Yeah, basically, like he was sent out to either take care of it or try to find a workaround, and we found a workaround. Let's just shove in there. Great, thank you.
Are you guys able to see the names on the tokens I put down?
Let me see.
I don't see an owl's name.
No.
Oh,
I
hold
don't
on.
see any...
Give me a
Oh wait,
second.
no, there's the tokens. Yep, I see them.
Yeah, I see our tokens, but yeah, the owl that you put ahead of us, no, we don't see any name.
Okay.
But we do see I do
am.
see Ari, Squish, Skrag. I do not see my name.
Okay. I am working on fixing that right now.
Okay, but yes, I am from. I was born in Okeanos, a savannah place somewhere in the cosmos, and then I grew up in Sigil, a place of magic.
I like...
You've been to Sigil, Squish?
Well, unless you'd never gone back since serving, yeah, I figured they'd have been there at some point. Or no, wait, I guess we never actually figured that out for true. Thomas, had we ever been to Sigil or not?
That's true.
I'm gonna say like you've probably made like a stop or two in Sigil, but you've done most of your voyaging in wild space.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me phrase it yeah, so Sigil is a place of magic. It's also a place of
to neutrality, so it's very hard to live in Sigil. But that's not the case. That's not the point. The point is that I came from different places. I'm not sure about our friend Skrag here. Squish just ran into the ship a while back, a long time ago, and he became our friend. So I'm not even, actually. What did you come from, Squish?
I was in space.
There you go.
About the same kind of answer I would give.
All right. Can everybody see the nameplates on their tokens?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Since we don't have placeholder images at the moment.
That's true.
Just do a generic slime for mine, like an ape from the
Oh.
fucking monster manual.
Yeah, I'll try and find something after today. But yeah, so as you are walking along, you find as you kind of go into the as Ogden is somewhat in another forest, walking through the kind of hilly grasslands, come across a small trail, and there is what looks like just a small platform made out of stone. Looks like at some point, maybe ages ago, it was sort of like a lookout platform, and now it's kind of overgrown with vines and leaves, and you see this kind of giant owl observing the four of you as you approach. And it looks like it's sizing each of you up, and you can tell that it has its gaze seemingly focused on Ari.
Terrific on the little guy.
Sorry. There's a giant owl looking at us.
She's gonna stare back at the owl. She's like squaring up.
Squish is observing it with that little insight roll to see if it looks like it is going to attack. Like, deeper rolls of insight are utterly lost on Squish, but the animal stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Does it seem hostile?
As it's staring Ari down, it seems to kind of like puff up a bit as you watch
He's popping up right back.
as you watch it then like rotate its head 360 degrees. Is Ari gonna try to do that?
No.
She instantly breaks her neck. Roll a new character.
Jesus.
Does the Family Guy death pose?
Oh no. Oh, I got my thing. Yay.
Oh, nice. Okay, let me replace your token then.
Very small though. I don't know why. It's fine. I have 8 tokens, so that's all that matters.
Yeah. Then set it so you can see the token settings. There we go.
Alright, thank you. Alright, there we go. Stuff back here.
All right. But yeah, so the owl looks like it's about ready to swoop down and possibly try to attack or scoop Ari up.
Well, that's all Squish needs to know. Squish is attacking immediately.
All right, go ahead, roll for initiative. Good news is you are not surprised.
Kind of hard to be surprised when that big old owl is just looking at Ari like a delicious little snack.
Oh,
Oh,
my heavens.
20, nice.
Well, he did try to attack first. Oh, that's right. I gotta do the familiar. How do I do that in my case?
I think the familiar would be on your turn.
With it too. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
you
Just
can
make
choose
sure.
for it to go first or after you.
Okay.
Hey Thomas, could I be funny real quick?
Sure.
So this owl and Ari were like squaring up there for a hot minute,
Mm-hmm.
and Squish is watching. Oh, well, they're all watching what the fuck is going on, and then everybody just sees her lift her little finger and point at the owl and just go, "Bitch!" And then the owl just takes off and charges, thus beginning combat.
Yeah,
It's like
that's basically how it happens. Ari calls the owl a bitch, and then it just hones in on her.
Dear.
So it's going to swoop down to do a talon attack. A natural 1 looks like it does miss.
It does miss.
So it's going to fly by. So it has a thing where it doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity when it flies out of an enemy's range. So it's going to fly past Athoz and Ari. And it's going to end up probably around here-ish. So it missed Ari and is starting to fly past. Ari and Athoz do not get attack of opportunity. And then it is Squish's turn.
How high up is it right now?
It is flying low, so it's probably about like 5 feet off the ground.
Oh, yeah. Squish is gonna spend a key point for a start.
Mm-hmm.
Bop. And Squish becomes just like this blur of limbs. And what do you want me to do? Like a attack roll to land on it? What kind of roll with it?
Are you trying to to jump onto it?
Jump onto it and grapple it out of the air.
Okay. Let's say that's going to be 2 rolls. It's going to be an acrobatics. And then it's going to roll its dex against that, and then to grapple it's going to be strength.
Good heavens, man.
Oh dear.
I guess that's a miss. Huh? Look at that. I'm the pidge rolls now. That is my 5th one.
It also rolled a 1.
Oh, well then I guess I still win.
Yeah, adding modifiers, you win, so you land on top of it. Go ahead and roll strength.
Actually, the grapple would be athletics, and this athletics will be with my wisdom, not my strength.
Okay, alright.
And I guess it would do an opposed strength?
It failed.
Yep.
So yeah, you grapple it. As you weigh it down to the ground, it screeches and starts to flail as you have it kind of pinned down. And that gives everybody advantage to attack it.
And I would then like to use my bonus action, since for the purposes of triggering the bonus monk unarmed attack, grapple does count. Yes?
Mm-hmm. I believe so, yes.
I would like to do an attack, and that will be with advantage. Oh, and I even forgot to do the advantage for my fucking grapple. But anyway, so, boop.
Alright, so that is 9 points of damage on the owl. Okay.
Yep, so Squish just, like a missile, just shoots off the ground, lands on the owl, wraps around it with a variety of tendrils, and when it lands on the ground, Squish just squeezes it.
You can feel the bones break as the wings are very fragile. Alright, Athoz.
Athoz just shakes his head as he heard the word "bitch" and saw the owl just immediately attack. It's like, I expect there to be a story after this, as he takes his rapier out, and with a single claw he taps it out. As for my bonus action, I invoke a blade song, so the blade begins to hum musically.
Okay.
As it gives me all those stuff, and I'm gonna move closer. I can't really tell very much with the. Anyway, I think it's enough, right?
Hold on. Let me actually darken that grid for you guys really quick.
That'd be good.
Yeah, because I can't tell. Like, some of them is nice to see, but the other one's kind of hard. There we go. Much
They
better.
need to do the smart grid, where the grid shows up as the opposite color of what it's over. It makes it so much more uniformly.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right, so I move closer by, and I'm gonna do a rapier attack.
Okay.
There you are. So whoop. I
All right.
miss as well.
That is a
Thank you.
miss.
Actually, no, I have advantage. Remember?
Oh yeah, you have
From,
advantage. So that is a crit, actually.
That's a crit hit. That's a very opposite. It's a very fucking opposite thing. But yes,
Yeah.
I did.
That has happened so many times in our little group now.
Yeah, this is.
It's crazy.
But yes, I crit hit then.
Yeah. So you just basically just shove your rapier through Squish and into the owl and just skewer it through the heart. As it's flapping, feathers are flying everywhere. It's screeching, and you thrust forward, and then it stops.
Oh, I didn't think it was gonna be this fragile.
Yeah.
Was there a story with this owl that you called it a bitch and decided to attack you?
It squared up at me. I squared up back. She shrugs.
Oh, is this owl your enemy then?
I wouldn't call it an enemy, it's just a hungry animal.
Oh,
Well, was.
well, can I eat it?
Sure. Waste not, want not.
Skrag, do you want some of this bird?
I'm full enough, thank you.
Okay.
Hang on, let me take my blade off before you begin to eat it. I don't. Unfortunately, there's not a smith in Miss Ari's town, so I prefer to keep my weapon as he takes his rapier out.
It's a magic weapon though, right? Oh,
Well-
it's not. Oh, yeah, then Squish could absolutely melt it. I don't think Squish can melt magic items. That would make Squish one of the most impressive entities in the cosmos.
Yeah, it's like, let me take my stuff up before you decide
The
to...
sword comes out of Squish like completely, like as if you had just cleaned it. There's nothing left on it, just shining.
Thank you, Squish. Alright, as we watch our friend Squish eat this owl, I'm starting to wonder if he had like a magnet of bad luck here. I don't know, just gives me the feeling, Miss Ari.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean,
You've never been attacked by hostile wildlife before?
not it looking at me specifically, well, there's an entire group of beings.
Oh, she is
surrounding.
like,
I suppose
Yes,
so.
she was the smallest one.
And then there was that time where I tripped her because she was so small that I couldn't see her. So maybe that checks out.
Being
She just
small is
pouts.
hard. That's why I always try to be as big as I can.
She just shoves her hands in her pockets and keeps walking.
Keep in mind these are a group of 7 feet tall men
Yeah.
in small slime. Meanwhile, this poor little 3 foot tall.
3 foot 1.5. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Uh,
I like to think that Squish can kind of variable between small and medium, depending on how much it kind of just crams the extra mass in there. Because there's no benefit anymore to actually being small. It used to make you harder to hit, not anymore.
Not anymore. Alright then. Shall we continue before you disturb any other wildlife with weird delicious presence?
And then the owl's mate charges at her from ahead. Kidding. That would be funny as fuck though, like they're talking, they're vibing, and then she makes it like up here, and then it's another owl from like right here that just fucking dives her.
Dives her, takes her away.
That would be
It's like,
funny as fuck.
it's like God. It's like I never say this like often, but God damn it! I don't even believe in gods. Gonna be an adventure and a half.
All right, yeah. As you travel along the path, and you see the little forest town of Ogden in the distance.